Hello and welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we will present local and international sports stories including tennis, world soccer, boxing, MMA, golf, baseball, ice hockey and some more sports news. So let's dive into today's sports world. At first, let's have some latest tennis stories. Novak Djokovic created history on Sunday when he captured a record-breaking 23rd Grand Slam title with a third French Open triumph, reinforcing his case to be crowned the greatest player of all time. The 36-year-old Serb brushed off an early oval to defeat Casper Ruud of Norway 7-6, 6-3, 7-5 and snap the tie of 22 slams he shared with career-long rival Rafael Nadal. Victory for the third time in Paris after 2016 and 2021 adds to his 10 Australian Open titles, 7 at Wimbledon and 3 at the US Open. Djokovic is the first man to win all 4 majors at least 3 times and is once again halfway to the first calendar Grand Slam since Rod Laver in 1969. Only Margaret Court and Serena Williams in women's tennis have managed to rack up 23 Grand Slam titles. Court's all-time mark of 24 will now be in his sights at Wimbledon next month. There is little sign of Djokovic slowing down. He is now the oldest French Open champion, but 11 of his Slam trophies have now been won after he turned 30. On Monday, he will reclaim the world number ranking and start his 388th week in top spot. Iga Swiatek, the world's top-ranked women's tennis player, successfully defended her French Open title on Saturday in a stunning final against unseeded Karolina Muchova of the Czech Republic, winning 6-2, 5-7, 6-4 at Roland Garros in Paris. It was Swiatek's third French Open championship and her fourth Grand Slam title. It was pretty surreal, said the 22-year-old Pole. The match was really intense, a lot of ups and downs, stressful moments and coming back. So I'm pretty happy that at the end I could be solid in those few last games and finish it. Swiatek, who has been the top-ranked woman in tennis for the past year, got off to a swift start and looked as if she would make quick work of Muchova, who is ranked number 43. She led 3-0 after just 10 minutes and was leading the second set 3-0 when Muchova made her move. Muchova, who had a hot week in Paris, dispatching number 2 ranked Aryna Sabalenka in spectacular fashion Thursday, said, "I could see that she was a little bit struggling, a little bit more tense." Muchova would go on to win 5 of 6 games to even the match at 1 set each, then surged ahead in the third set before Swiatek staged a comeback. Unseeded Tsai Su-wei of Taiwan and Wang Jinhui of China won the French Open women's doubles on Sunday after beating 10th-seeded Leylah Fernandez of Canada and Taylor Townsend of the United States 1-6, 7-6, 6-1. It was another upset victory for Tsai and Wang after they beat 6th-seeded Nicole Melliker-Martinez and Ellen Perez to reach the final, and 3 other seeded pairs before that. The feat was made more remarkable by the fact it was only their second tournament together after teaming up at Strasbourg last month. "We were not thinking too much about winning or losing," Wang said. "We were just really enjoying each other's company on court." The 37-year-old Tsai is now a 5-time Grand Slam doubles champion, with the other 3 coming at Wimbledon. Tsai and Peng Shuai won the women's doubles title at the 2014 French Open. Tsai had not played a slam since 2021 due to injury and was doubtful she could even play at Roland Garros. Now let's have some football stories. Manchester City ended a sensational season by beating Inter Milan 1-0 to win the Champions League for the first time and complete the treble on a Saturday evening of frayed nerves. Spanish midfielder Rodri's 68th-minute goal settled a cagey game, which a far-from fluent City dominated without ever looking comfortable against the three-times winners from Italy at the Atatürk Stadium. Inter almost levelled at the death when a point-blank header by substitute Romelu Lukaku was saved by Ederson. But City, who lost in the final 2 years ago against Chelsea, would not be denied. Emotional, a dream come true. All these guys around here waited I don't know how many years. They deserve, we deserve, Rodri said. In being crowned champions of Europe, they matched the treble achieved by Manchester United in 1999 of lifting the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League crowns. City manager Pep Guardiola has now won the Champions League 3 times and took his trophy count with City to 12. Thierry Henry said that it will be difficult for Romelu Lukaku to handle after he made some crucial mistakes in Inter's Champions League final loss against Manchester City. Lukaku missed a clear chance to equalize late on in Inter's Champions League final loss to Manchester City. Henry, who was his former assistant manager for the Belgian national team, admitted that the striker will likely struggle with his mistake. He is gonna have to go through exactly what he went through after the World Cup, Henry said on CBS Sports. People will still, although I think it was a tough one with DiMarco, people will still blame him. The header in the 6-yard box will come back to haunt him. He is gonna have to live with that. I have lost finals, I have won finals. Sometimes you are not on the right side. Lukaku had similar difficulties in the World Cup when he missed a handful of chances in Belgium's final group game draw against Croatia, a contest his side needed to win. Dinner, drinks and a selfie with Lionel Messi sounds like every football fan's dream, but Chinese police have warned it's just one of numerous scams surrounding his visit to Beijing. The Argentine legend's presence in China for a friendly against Australia in the capital on Thursday has drawn scammers and ticket scalpers desperate to capitalize on Messi mania. Beijing police are warning against falling for one widely circulated advertisement that promises an evening in Messi's company for 300,000 yuan. If you can be scammed of 300,000 yuan, we will raise a glass to you. The usually austere Beijing Public Security Bureau joked on the Twitter like Weibo. Other dubious offers posted online include internal stadium passes for 5,000 yuan and a tailored VIP package including an autographed jersey, front row seats and a photo with Messi for over 8,000 yuan. For 50 million yuan, Messi will appear on your shopping live stream to extol the virtues of your product. Another unauthorized advertisement claims Messi landed in Beijing on Saturday and will lead the world champions against the Socceroos at Beijing's newly renovated 68,000 capacity Workers' Stadium. Newcastle has signed a multi-year shirt sponsorship deal with the Saudi events company amid new Premier League rules on owner-related commercial deals. British media reported Newcastle's sponsorship by events management firm Sela, announced Friday, is worth £25 million annually on a multi-year deal. The agreement between the two rapidly growing organizations will see them uniting at an exciting stage in their respective journeys, with Sela, the driving force behind a wide range of spectacular events, iconic destinations and attractions in the Middle East, becoming Newcastle United's front of shirt partner. The club said in a statement posted on its website. Sela is backed by the Saudi Public Investment Fund (PIF), the state's sovereign wealth fund, which also holds an 80% stake in Newcastle. A temporary ban on owner-related sponsorship deals was put in place after the Saudi-led takeover of the Magpies in October 2021. That was lifted 2 months later, but such deals must be deemed to represent fair market value. Abu Dhabi owned Manchester City's rise to the top of English football has been aided by sponsorship deals with a series of related parties in the Gulf. City are facing 115 Premier League charges for allegedly breaching financial rules between 2009 and 2018. Owners of other Premier League clubs have voiced concerns that Newcastle could circumvent financial fair play rules by using Saudi-backed sponsors. Now let's have latest boxing news. Teofimo Lopez was so unimpressive in his last fight that he was caught on camera afterward asking if he still had it. Well, he definitely does. Lopez captured a title in a second weight class Saturday night, beating formerly unbeaten Josh Taylor by unanimous decision to win the WBO's junior welterweight belt. Lopez, the former lightweight champion, hadn't looked sharp lately after moving up to 140 pounds, but he delivered a super performance inside Madison Square Garden, with punches that were just quicker and stronger than the champion's. Josh Taylor is a tough dude. I can see why he beat so many fighters, Lopez said. But you have got to counter the counter-puncher. You have got to outsmart the man and get in there. And I did that. Lopez won by scores of 115-113 on two cards and 117-111 on the other. And he threw power shots throughout the final round in hopes of not even getting to the scorecards. Coming off a split decision victory last December that was followed by his questioning himself, Lopez looked like the fighter who had won multiple versions of the title at 135 pounds, highlighted by a victory over Vasily Lomachenko before losing them to George Kambosos Jr. in November 2021. Now it's time for MMA news. Amanda Nunes beat Irene Aldana by unanimous decision at UFC 289 on Saturday night to hold on to her bantamweight title before announcing her retirement. Nunes dominated the fight, landing far more hits than her opponent, while Aldana's corner repeatedly encouraged their fighter to go on the offensive. It went exactly how I pictured it in my mind. I did what I was supposed to do, Nunes said about her win. When I started to mix it up, Aldana wasn't able to do anything. Nunes entered the post-fight news conference on crutches, revealing she has suffered nerve damage in one leg for some time. I did everything. I broke a lot of records, she said about her reputation, adding she wants to be remembered as the greatest female fighter of all time. Nunes said she would like to stay involved in mixed martial arts in the future and would like to train a female champion, but will first take time to spend time with her wife and family in Brazil. Aldana suffered repeated blows to the face, with one elbow hit opening a cut on her face. UFC President Dana White praised Nunes after her retirement announcement, adding that she was an icon of the sport. Now it's time for latest golf story. Dale Whitnell held his nerve to win the Scandinavian mixed event on Sunday for his first career win on the European Tour. The 34-year-old English player, whose sole appearance at a major was 11 years ago, shot a 2 under 70 in the final round to finish at 21 under 267 overall, 3 shots clear of American Sean Crocker in second place. Whitnell set the tone for the men and women's tournament at Alna Golf with a closing 96-yard hole-out eagle in the opening round, and he maintained that momentum with the second round 61 for a 6-shot lead at the halfway stage. Crocker finished with a 7 under 65 to cut that lead to 2 with 2 to play. But Whitnell birdied the 17th to ease the pressure and see out the win. Yannick Paul of Germany and Anne van Dam of the Netherlands, widely considered one of the biggest hitters on the ladies' European Tour, tied for third at 15 under, followed by Richie Ramsey, Gabriella Cowley, Paul Waring and Soren Kjeldsen on 14 under. Now let's have some baseball stories. White Sox closer Liam Hendriks has been sidelined by elbow inflammation after he missed the start of the season while he recovered from non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Hendriks was placed on the 15-day injured list before Sunday's series finale against the Miami Marlins. Left-hander Tanner Banks was recalled from Triple-A Charlotte. It's unfortunate, especially how he got through what he got through, manager Pedro Grifol said. It impacts us as a club emotionally. It impacts our roster. But again, we got to continue to move forward and hopefully he can recover from this. That's all we can do at this point. General Manager Rick Hahn said Hendriks' elbow discomfort is currently presenting in the same way as an issue the pitcher had last season, when he was placed on the IL on June 14 with a strained right forearm flexure and then reinstated on July 4. Christian Walker hit a go-ahead double with 2 outs in a 4-run ninth inning, and the Arizona Diamondbacks beat Detroit 7-5 on Sunday for a 3-game sweep that extended the Tigers' losing streak to 9 games. Detroit led 5-2 in the 8th before Corbin Carroll doubled, stole third, and scored on Lourdes Gurriel Jr.'s RBI grounder. Tigers manager A.J. Hinch used closer Alex Lange in the 7th and 8th, then inserted Jason Foley for the 9th. Foley gave up a 1-out single in the 9th to Rivera and walked Ketel Marte. Arizona had been 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position before Carroll had an RBI single for his 3rd hit. I didn't want to use Lange in the 7th, but they had Emmanuel Rivera up and he crushes lefties, Hinch said. I knew we needed a strikeout and he is the most equipped. Plus, we had Foley for the 9th. Carroll hit .429 in the series with 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers. Now let's have latest ice hockey story. As the Florida Panthers made a furious attempt to tie Game 4 and the series Saturday night, Adin Hill made the biggest save of his career as he denied Florida's Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett in the game's closing seconds to give his team a win and commanding 3-1 series lead in the Stanley Cup final. I kind of saw where the puck was and just tried to do anything I could to get a piece of something on it, Hill said. In situations like that, it's just full-on desperation. His play this series has fueled the Golden Knights' success and helped Vegas to a 3-2 win Saturday. The Golden Knights head back to Vegas 1 win away from hoisting their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Hill set the tone of the game by robbing Tkachuk in the opening period after Chandler Stephenson gave Vegas a 1-0 lead at 1 minute 39 seconds in the first period with his first of 2 goals. Hill was on his way to putting forth his 3rd shutout of the postseason before a goal by Florida's Brandon Montour somehow deflected off 2 Golden Knights and into the net in the 2nd period, giving the Panthers life. But the 27-year-old Hill has made big saves at seemingly every turn of these playoffs, and that did not change. He had a spectacular stick save that helped Vegas to a 5-2 win in the opener, has blocked 111 of 120 shots in the series, and has the highest save percentage among all goalies in the postseason. Now it's time for latest cricket news. A fired-up Australia wasted little time in crushing Indian hopes of staging a final day miracle as they romped to a 209-run victory in the World Test Championship final on Sunday, needing to score 280 runs on the final day to overhaul the mammoth 444 victory target set by Australia. Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane were cheered all the way to the pitch as they came out to resume India's second innings on 164 for 3. However, the boisterous fans at the Oval were left muted and dejected as Scott Boland and his fellow Australian bowlers ripped through the Indian batting order to dismiss the world's top-ranked team for 234 and wrap-up victory before the lunch break. The Indians lost their last 7 wickets for the addition of just 70 runs on the final day of the contest, leaving the jubilant Australians to come together in a celebratory huddle. Now let's have some other sports stories. Former UFC champion Conor McGregor knocked out the Miami Heat mascot in a mid-game beat that went wrong. Bernie, more specifically the man who occupies Bernie's costume, briefly sought medical attention Friday night after taking 2 punches from McGregor during a third-quarter stoppage of Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Heat and the Denver Nuggets. The Heat said Saturday that the employee, who was not identified, received pain medication and was resting at home. McGregor was a promotional gimmick for a pain relief spray and was booed by many in the Miami crowd even before the beat started. The Flame mascot was wearing oversized boxing gloves and a robe akin to what a fighter would wear entering the ring for a bout. McGregor hit Bernie with a left hook, knocking him down, then punched the mascot again after he hit the floor. McGregor then tried to spray the mascot with the pain relief product, while several members of the Heat's in-game promotional team dragged Bernie off the court. McGregor hasn't fought since injuring his left leg in a loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 264 in July 2021. His last win came in January 2020. Jenna Antonucci turned a triple crown marred by thoroughbred deaths on the track and threatened by bad air quality from wildfires in Canada into a celebration for racing and women. Arcangelo took the lead at the top of the stretch and won the Belmont Stakes on Saturday, making the 47-year-old Antonucci the first female trainer to win a Triple Crown race. After the horse crossed the finish line, Antonucci doubled over and rested her arm and head on the back of a chair. She kissed the horse and the nose when it returned to the area in front of the winner's circle. "When we were walking out, I said, 'There is not a table made for you,' she said. 'You make the table. You put great people around you. You work hard. Work your tail off. It will come if you do it the right way. Do it the right way.'" Antonucci and Arcangelo did everything right as the 3-year-old son of Arrogate finished the 1.5-mile race in 2 minutes 29.23 seconds and by 1.5 lengths in front of favored fourth, with Tapit Trice third. That's all in today's sports world. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports update. Millennium TV US and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all LED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment program. Thank you.